Hi guys, welcome to Mega Five Stars. Listen, so couples retreat, VH1 couples retreat. So yes, I wanted to talk about it because it was juicy. It was a juicy episode. I thought they would never get into this type of episode, but they did. It was always given that much juice, but it just got a little juicy this week. So I'm sure some of you might have seen it, but if you have not, I'm here to update you on it. Well, the ones that I've really tuned into anyway, the couples that I really focused on, rather, on couples retreat. So, anyway, guys, as you know, it's on VH1. So, let's start with Claudia and her man, okay? So, I'm trying to figure out why, guys, just one second. I gotta take this pill because I don't know. Sometimes when I eat green peppers, it make my stomach feel funny. I don't understand that. Why? I had green peppers. I put green peppers in some tuna fish. So it's not really agreeing with me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm taking this little pill. But sorry, my ghetto glass. But for some reason I love this jar. I don't know why it's ghetto, but I love that jar for some reason. I have nice glasses, but anyway. So back to the show. Couples retreat. Mm. So Claudia, I'm trying to figure out, okay? My thing is, why pressure a man into marrying you? If they feel like they're not ready, why are you pressuring someone to marry you? I don't understand that. Either you want to stay with them or you're not. And the other thing is, never pressure someone into doing something because 9 out of 10, they're not going to want to do it. They're going to feel pressured into doing something. Let that man figure out if he want to marry you. Be the person, make a bet. Maybe you feel like it's not time, the relationship, because far as what I've been seeing on the show, he's just think that she's more into her work than into him. He don't feel like he get the attention that he deserves because she's always into work. And so maybe it's some things that she need to work on if she want their relationship to go to the next level. Some people is not going to marry into something that they don't know themselves if they can deal with once they get married to you. You have to know that you'll be able to deal with those situations. And so maybe he feel like he don't know if he's able to deal with someone who's, who works a lot. And she said that she really wants him to figure it out. Like she, want him to marry her, but he doesn't seem like he's ready. So I don't know. I don't know why some people want to rush people into marrying them. That's just the wrong thing to do because when you pressure someone into doing it, it could come out terrible. It could be the worst thing that ever happened. Let that man take his time. And if you don't want to wait and you feel like you want to run out there and get any old random person just because they're going to say I do so you could get that fairy tale wedding that you've always dreamed up since you were a child, girl, go right on. Because that wedding probably will last 1 year, if that. And then, and people don't take marriage seriously these days. Me, myself personally, if I was to get married, I know it's for until death do you part. I know it might be issues that come up in the marriage. It might be even trauma that comes up in the marriage that you have to move away from and get away from and get out. You don't have to stay in it. But once you marry someone and you go to God before, and I tell everyone this all the time, when you take someone before God and you ask God to bless your union, I'm sorry, but you can't just break your bond. You went to God and asked God for this. So you have to figure it out. And if you're not going to be with the person, oh well, you had your marriage, you took it there, that was your marriage for life. You went to God making these vows till death do you part. This is what you said to God in front of God. And so then now you're going to just any little wimp and any little thing that happens that you can't handle in your marriage, because marriages and people are not perfect. So any little thing that happens that you feel like you can't take or whatever, you're out the marriage. After you don't went to God and asked God to bless this marriage, and you done said death till death do you part. Really? Okay, no. So anyway, that's my opinion, but I don't feel like she should be forcing this man to get married. That's a little bit much. But we'll see how that go. Anyway, now let's get on the topic about this partnership here. Jess and Daniel. Okay, this man I told you he don't love you several times. And although she says she doesn't love him either right now, I think she's really, to me, I think that she's only saying that because he's saying he don't love her. But first of all, a man that gets on national TV and makes me embarrassed or try to embarrass me, I'm sorry, it's over. It's no figuring it out. Okay? He done told you he don't love you. He barely wanna be intimate with you. You said he don't really, you have to make the pass all the time. He's not really affectionate to you. So I'm just trying to figure out, women, you have to love yourself before someone will love you. And that is the honest truth. If you don't love yourself and take yourself first and take yourself and know the worth in you, nobody's going to love you the way that you're supposed to be loved. You're going to be a joke. You have to know your value. You have to know the value in you. You just can't just be out there saying, I just want to be with somebody because I don't want to be alone. And then you just taking up any type of trash, any type of getting with any type of person or whatever. Now, I'm not saying this man is a bad man because I don't know him. But I know, as far as what I'm seeing on the show, I personally would not deal with it. I would not deal with somebody who's telling me on national TV they don't love me. Some of the questions that they was asking, he felt as though shouldn't be asked, because they should only be asked by a person who loves the person. I mean, come on, like some things are just off the table, and that is some of those things. Like he's not showing her no respect. But anyway, she said that she doesn't feel that he takes her. What did she say? Because I put it down somewhere. She feels like she was dishonored. She says she felt like she's been dishonored in the relationship. So he felt like he just felt that was so hurtful that she felt that way, and he said he didn't want her to feel that way. Now I don't know how, um if he was really serious about, hurting her in that type of way, but that's what he was showing. So I don't know if he was honest about it, if his feelings was valid. But he said, he didn't want her to feel that way. He doesn't want her to feel that way. And then towards the end of the show, he was trying to show his affection for her and show her that he do care somewhat for her. So we'll have to see how this turns out. But I know in the beginning of the show, in a couple of episodes before this one, the things that he was saying, honey, child, I'll be out. The show probably wouldn't even be. I probably wouldn't be trying to work on nothing at no type of retreat. But the way he was treating her, that's just too much. And Jess, she has money. She has to watch out for who she lets in her life, because she really doesn't know what they're there for. If they're there for clout, if they're there for her money, if they're going to take her serious. She's a beautiful woman. Come on, know your worth, people. Know your worth. Men and women, know your worth. You don't have to settle for trash. Now, speaking of people interfering, or well, speaking of when he was trying to show her affection and people was interfering, now this is a shocker. Here comes the shocker, guys. So, from New Edition, Ronnie from New Edition. Okay, his wife. She was drunk. She had, well, See, it seems like to me she was drunk. I don't know if she was. I can't say that she was, but it seemed like on the show she was drunk. And even he said she felt like she had a little bit too much to drink. So she was talking to another couple while they're there to work on their relationship and get intimate with each other. She was focusing on the other women. She had her eyes on the other women and the other women's bottom, their butts. She she was more intrigued by these other women's body parts. So he felt like it was disrespectful. And so he called her out at the thing. She was looking over to Jess and her boo while they're trying to fix things. And she was telling him what to do with her bottom and how she feel like he needs to be smacking it or whatever, right? And she said that if it was me, I know I would. And she said she did. She said she did. So I was like, whoa. But then Claudia was getting affectionate with her boo. And she looked over at Claudia and was like, you got a fat, talking about her bottom and everything, and all into their Playboy, to calling her Playboy bunny or whatever. And I just feel like it was just too much, because she was like really intrigued by these other women. Here she got this, her husband, a fine young man. Well, young man, I say young, but he's older, but a fine man, a fine, well established man, handsome, well put together, well mannered, well spoken and speaking when you speaking or speaking to people. He's very in tune with his relationship. And I mean, you have this handsome husband here that's trying to get affectionate with show you affection and trying to work on your marriage, but yet you're still living somewhat in the darkness in the past because, as you know, they had an open relationship in the past in their marriage. They had an open relationship. So I guess he stepped out and she stepped out. But she stepped out with a woman. And she got even more closer than this woman. She moved in with this woman. So she had a whole full relationship with this woman, right? So I don't know. I guess the relationship didn't work out. She went back to her husband, Ronnie. And so they're trying now to work on their marriage. But he said it's stuff, it just don't go away. He's still hurt from it. It's still, and it's resurfaced when she does certain things. And I guess this was a trigger. She's at the table. They're supposed to be intimate and working on their marriage and loving on each other. And she's watching other women and calling it out right there, nonchalant, not caring, don't even understand what she's doing wrong. So I'm wondering, in my mind, I'm saying, is she a lesbian? Is she a lesbian? Does she like women? I mean, of course she likes women because he even admit that they look at women together. So this is the type of relationship that they had and that they invite in. But he don't understand. I don't know if he understands that when you're inviting that in, and when she's drinking, her true feelings. A lot of people say when you drink, your true feelings come out, right? So instead of her focusing on her fine husband that's sitting in front of her, she's focusing on women. What is that telling you, honey? I don't know, guys. You let me know. You let me know because that right there is a little bit too much for me. And I'm just trying to figure out, how they're going to work on their marriage like this, unless he's just going to accept that she wants to be with women from time to time. Because obviously that feeling is still there and she's urging for it. The way she was talking at the table while all the other couples was working on themselves. And then Jess' boyfriend, he had to tell her, could you leave us alone? I'm trying to work on excuse me. Could you leave us alone? I'm trying to work on our relationship. And she still was talking. She said, well, I want to watch. She said, I can watch. I'm like, oh my God. So Ronnie was like, hello, hello. He just got upset with her. And he said, you drinking too much. You had too much to drink. And then he went back to the room and left her at the table. She went back to the room to look for him. And as you can see here on the screen, and they're sitting down and they're talking. And she said, I'm not interested in them. I was just talking about, the way they looked, their outfits. And he said, mentioning somebody else's, A, but the butt part is you're just looking at their outfits, their clothing. He was like, no, no, he was like you. And then it cut to where they do their talking when they talk at the screen. I guess it's like a green room or whatever when they talk about what they were feeling. And he was saying that he's wondering if she would. He said he thought that she had suppressed those feelings, but obviously he's thinking different now, that she's really, still wanting to be with a woman. And so what you guys think? I mean, what is it given here? But it was juicy tonight, guys. The show was well last night because I'm just filming this. I'm just talking about it tonight. I caught it late, and I normally like to catch it, on time, but I be having so much to do. But yeah, guys, that's the part. That's the show. That's what went on, and I can't wait till next week to see what else goes on. But hopefully they can work it out. And they supposed to be, or she said she's a marriage ambassador or something, or counselor. What did she say? Something like that. And he was like, I don't see that. I don't see where that's coming at. Where he said he don't see that. So I'm like, if you're some type of marriage ambassador or whatever they called it, guys, I'm tired. I don't know, but I don't see that, honey. And you worrying about other women, and you have, I don't see where that is. Maybe you know, maybe she does. I mean, it's just it just seems like she want to be with one. I don't know. That's what I'm getting from the show. That's my personal opinion. I don't know. But Ronnie is, well established, fine man. I mean, girl, if you ain't gonna treat him right, or if you don't want him, let somebody else. Well, let me not say that because they are married. So I keep forgetting they're married, they're married, they're married, and they have to work on their relationship. But that's a tough one. That's a tough one because I don't want my partner sleeping around with me, sleeping around on me. No, that's not gonna be happening. But so yeah, guys, that was the show for tonight. Leave your comments down below and let me know what you think. But I don't know. I think they've been married for over 20 something years. So probably just something they're going through. I commend them for staying in their marriage though and trying to work it through. Not all couples do that, you know. And they got two little cute little boys. I think they're twins. I'm not sure, but they got cute little kids. So yeah, guys. So that was the show. That was Couples Retreat. I will be talking about it next week. So come back. Please make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. Bye for now.